we're gonna have a short eulogy program for our beloved Roy. And sir, we're gonna be calling a few people who know and love Roy very much. We'd like to start with Cheska, one of Roy's med school friends. Cheska, if you're here.
Sir Cesar din pa friend lang.
We call Ma'am Prime na lang first. If that's okay. Alright.
Ako po si Ate Bern na madalas i-address ni Doc Roy na Ma'am Prime. Nagsimula yung band namin dahil siguro siya mismo lumapit sa akin nung bago pa lang siya sa OFTA. Nag-approach siya, sabi ni Doc Roy sa akin, Ma'am, Bisaya ka pala. Ma'am, Bisaya lang pa, pag naman ka Bisaya. So pag mag-story ka, Bisaya, ha? Para magpapinagtarita. Yan yung word na siguro doon nagsimula na naramdaman ko na kakaiba siya sa lahat. Naiiyak naman ako, Roy. Bilang isang residente sa OFTA, napakabait na bata. Napaka-respectful. Iba magmahal kay Ate Guard sa mga janitorials. The best na bata yan. Nasasabi ko po kaya sad ako, sobrang sad nung biniglaan niya lahat. Hindi ko akalain mangyari. Kasi May 2, isa sa nagpapastrong band siguro sa amin. Kasi yung bata na yan, pag masaya siya, nagsasabi sa akin. Pag malulungkot siya, nagsasabi sa akin. Pag nahihirapan siya, nagsasabi sa akin na mga bahaging lang, segundo. Pag dumadaan siya sa akin, bumabati yan. Hindi niya ako nakakalimutan batiin araw-araw yan pagpasok sa pintuan ng sentro. So kakaiba siya, kaya ako nasasabing kakaiba siya. Parang nanay ako na nawalan din ng anak. Nung araw na nalaman ko na wala na siya. So hindi ko alam mo yun, parang iba. Napakasakit sa dibdib ko nung nangyari na yun. Kasi May 2, hindi ko alam na parang yun na yung last paalam pala niya. So, nagsabi siya sa akin nung, masaya siya nung araw na yun, nung May 2. Actually, masaya siya. So, nagpaalam siya na, Ma'am Prime, may exam na lang kami bukas. Bisaya siya nagsalita. Yan po kaya ko Ma'am Prime ha, kayo exam na po. So, always mga ko may ampo ko ni mo. So, sa mga time na nandun at magkakasama kami sa OFTA, always yun yung laging pag lumalapit siya, ampo. Tabangan ko siya ampo. Nung malampasan niya ang iyang mga giagian daw, o mga nararanasan niya. Masaya man yan, malungkot na yan, kasi ampo ko daw siya lagi. So, hindi ko akalain na meron pala siyang something na siya lang nakakaalam at hindi niya sinasabi. So, isa lang masasabi ko kay Doc Roy sa iksi ng pinagsamahan natin, sobrang ang lalim ng ibinigay mong pagmamahal, respeto sa akin. Ganun din ako sa iyo. Ang daya-daya mo, Doc. Inaasahan ko pa naman. Dahil alam kong ikaw ang kuya ng batch. So, inaasahan ko pa naman na hanggang malampasan, sana yung mga dadating na taon na makita mo kayong magtapos na buo. Pero dahil nandiyan ka na, siguro nga, isa lang ang iniisip ko lagi. Baka kailangan na ng mga kirubin sa kalangitan At ikaw, isa ka doon na kailangan nandoon na at mauuna na doon. Ganun pa man, magpapasalamat ako at sa pamilya ko, no? Kay Mami Rose, ang health si Doc Roy. So, let go na natin.
Hindi na kailangan malungkot.
Tanggap ko na ng may kanya-kanya tayong panahon. Yun lang po. At celebrating with life is going na masabi ko. First time ko po to, pasensya na po kayong lahat. Sabi ko, hindi ko siya makalimutan bilang isang kasama sa katrabaho, isang doktor, residente, bata na andyan ako bilang nanay niya sa OFTA. So yun, Roy, lumipad ka ng
Malaya.
yun lang po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, ma'am. May we call Cheska, my school friend of hers.
Hello po, good evening. Ako po si Cheska, med school friend niyo. Nag-meet po kami noong 2016. Mr. Roy is actually one of my first friends. Naalala ko pa nga, nung first time namin nag-meet, hindi kami agad nag-click. Ang kwento niyo pa sa akin, sino ba itong babaeng ko? Ba't siya dikit ng dikit? Alam mo, Mr. Roy, minsan, di ba? Agad feel na feel niya yun. Pero yun. Tapos, ina-explain ko sa kanya na, pero kasi tayo ng area sa sun. I mean, dun sa may Espanya, so, pwede tayo mag-carpool. But anyway, from SGD groupmates, we ended up becoming really close friends until now. So in 2016 kami nag-meet, it's been 8 years. 8 very short, very short years. How we came to know Roy was yung resident foodie ng grupo. He always knows where to eat, what to eat. Tapos may inside joke kami sa aming magkakaibigan na si Roy yung kilabot ng mga servers. Kasi lahat tinatanong niya. Kasi lahat talaga, like anong best sellers niya dito, ano yung specials. Tapos, kinukwento ko nga sa kanila kanina, dahil sa dalas namin kumain ni Roy sa labas na, kasi nga magkalapit lang kami dito, so like may time to go. Naabutan ko na siya, na tinatanong yung kahera, yung cashier na parang, ma'am, paano kayo nagsimula? As in like yung history ng restaurant, yung gusto niyang malaman. Tapos ako parang, oh my God, pinapasweldo lang nila si ma'am. Gusto lang niya tapusin yung shift niya. Huwag mo na siya toxic role. Pero he would do that in a lot of places. Tapos parang di naman siya out of, dahil gusto niya manoxic. It was genuine curiosity. Because we know he really loves food and he loves good food. Tapos pag kumakain kami, hindi pwedeng walang picture yung mga dishes. As in, dadalhin niya pa yung plato sa kabilang table kung mas maganda yung lighting doon. Baka hindi naman yung table, hindi naman siya tatabi doon sa may pakupunan. Pero like, multiple angles. Tapos, and in fairness, hindi siya humihingi ng opinion namin. As in like, he knows what looks good. Tapos he would post it on his IG and tag the restaurant. Both good reviews and bad reviews kasi he also wants them to improve kung meron. So I feel like gano'n naman si Roy with everything in his life. You know, very supportive, he helps everyone. Tapos, yung huli kami nag-meet, yung nakita ni Roy was 9 days before his passing. Tapos, it was typical. Nasa Starbucks kami sa tabi ng condo namin dalawa. May Starbucks dito sa gitna. So we'd always go there to study. Tapos naalala ko pa nun, sinasabihin niya pa ako na mag-extend tayo kahit hanggang 1 a.m. lang or 2 a.m. Nagkakaroon ko ng report, tapos siya nagka-aral. Tapos ito, nag-chismisan niya lang ako ng kung ano-ano. Kasi nag-recent trips niya or like recent places he tried. Tapos looking back, I really wish na in-indulge ko yung sinabi niyang mag-extend kami. Kasi if I had known na yun yung huli naming aral dun sa Starbucks na yun, I would have stayed there as long as we wanted. I don't know how to move forward na may malaking Roy-shaped hole in my heart. At malaki-laki yung hole kasi 6-footer si Kuya. Pero in the spirit of, you know, Roy always being joyful, tsaka masayahin, and a good friend, I will try my best na to remember him which I'm sure I will. Kasi yung loss talaga, I think I will feel it for the rest of my life. So, yun po, I'm grateful na we're all here together to celebrate Roy's life, and Roy being such a great person, and it's really so early na he decided, na he has passed. Thank you.
Thank you, Nesta. May we call on one of our consultants, Sir Cesar. Sir.
Good evening and condolences to the family. Pag-lecturing nyo na lang ako ng OFTA staff, ng glaucoma staff, kaysa magsabi ng eulogy sa isang resident. So, hindi ito na paghahandaan, hindi alam usually kung ano yung sasabihin, pero we still honor Roy, no? Kaya tayo nandito lahat. Kahit pa paano meron tayong nakabahagi o nabahagi siya sa atin, kaya tayo nandito lahat. Nagulat tayo lahat nung Tuesday, no, nung nalaman ko yung balita. I'm in the midst of my clinic. The rest of my clinic, parang ang hirap matapos yung araw. So, hindi ako kasing dalas na kasama ni Roy sa hospital katulad ng mga residents. Pero, ang laki nga ni Roy kasi, no? Di ba sabi nga ng mga, yung shadow niya, ang laki nung nakakast niya na shadow. So, yung effect niya sa atin, ganito rin kalaki. Kaya, hopefully, yung kung ano yung mga natutunan natin kay Roy, na aalala natin the good and probably even the bad, no? Let's think of it and maybe we can learn something out of it and cherish the memories always. Kung paano siya naging kaibigan natin, naging kasama natin, naging kamag-anak natin. Okay? I had also a batchmate when I was a resident, who passed away. So I understand the feeling of the residents. No? It's not really easy. Eh yung batchmate ko pa na nag-pass away before, meron siyang lingering illness eh. So hindi katulad nung nangyari sa kaibigan natin na lahat tayo nagulat na lang. Okay? So we're all coping and I hope we can cope with each other. Okay? Dahil most probably yun din naman yung gusto ni Roy. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Prime, merong additional na cherubim sa taas. Most probably siya yung pinakamalaking cherubim na yun sa taas. Pero mas gusto na natin merong cherubim sa taas na tumitingin sa atin na ganong kalaki. Dahil alam natin hindi niya tayo papabayaan. So, hirap. Pero, let's cherish. Okay. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Cesar.
Thank you so much, Sir Cesar. Before we move on to the eulogies of our batchmates, may we call on those that actually want to say something to Roy before we proceed? To the friends and families that would like to say something to Roy. You can just approach forward if you'd like something to say. Okay, let's move on. One of our batchmates couldn't make it here in person, so we'll just play a video of our beloved batchmate, Fatima.
Good evening, I'm Fatty. I'm one of Roy's batchmates last year in Central. So, out of all the batchmates, me and Roy were the only two who did live in the PDH area. So, we both lived in Espanya. And so, there were times that we would hang out after work or during the weekends, and we would stay in the Pusi area. As a foodie, we would always tell me about restaurants, where to go, where to eat, and have coffee, and then he would invite me for the Muslim place. And then there were times na pag madami kami work na gagawin, we would invite me to stay in this cafe na open until the weekend. So we work kami until hindi na namin kaya. As a workmate, Rai is very hardworking. He's very compassionate towards patients. He's a team leader. He's a good team leader and a good leader as well. And just presence will really bless. Siya talaga yung gentle giant ng batch namin. And he really left a mark in our hearts as his batchmates and friends. I pray that Ron finds peace wherever he may be, hopefully in the Lord's presence. And we always remember him, not just as his workmates, but his lifelong friends.
Thank you so much, Patty. From here on, I'll be calling our batchmate Andy, and then she'll be passing on to the rest of our batchmates. So we'll introduce ourselves to you. Okay?
Hello guys, so I'm Andy.
So, sa batch naman ako yung pinakaiyakin. So, forgive me na iiyak talaga ako. Pero si Daddy pala, so... Sorry. Si Roy, actually, I like to think na sa SOGR kasi I was his first time and he was mine. Sa SOGR kasi we were yung unang magkasama nung previous. We would also reach up together nung pagpasok ng SOGR. He was so quiet nun. As in, he would tell me na he was so intimidated by me na hyper ko. He saw me at my best, somehow, best state at that time na just enjoying yung okta and he just knew me talaga. He was so different when I first met him towards dun sa pagkakilala ko sa kanya during my journey. I took parang 6 months in ko siya naging batchmate and then I took a break. Pero it never stopped yung friendship namin. Even off residency. Roy was such a supportive person in my journey. He was a kuya and he always looked out for me. And it was just so funny yung mga dates that we would have during my residency back here nung second year. I mean, nung pumalik na ako, he would have this one-on-one dates. Going out sa Rob, just, and even yung may time na parang nung nag-blood drive kami na we would spend the whole day together and he wouldn't stop talking. Which was so different from yun nga, first ko nakausap siya na parang sobrang tahimik niya. And he would just ask me na, Andy, ano nang topic natin? Ano na? And then I talk everything. He said, my dreams, my hopes, my beliefs. And then after nun, gusto niya pa na Andy, labas na tayo. Pero I couldn't na kasi sobrang drained na yung social battery ko from him. I wish I said yes. But Roy knows that I love him. And I know that he loves me back. He was a good friend. And the relationship we had, nobody could take that away from me. Thank you, Roy, for everything. You will be greatly missed.
Yes po. So, I'm Jessica, one of the batch members. So, Roy. During our interview, I sat beside you, we had a little chat, and you told me stories about your journey as a doctor in Jensen. At that moment, I'm sure we get in. Jensen will be very happy to have you as the new ophthalmologist. After knowing you both got in, I immediately messaged you. I asked you if you were coming from Jensen, how you will live in Manila, other whereabouts our residency. I was very scared of coming in, and I know it will be a tough journey. I asked you if I could still back out. You said that this is an opportunity that we should not waste. Because PGH called us for a reason. You assured me everything will be alright. We are batchmates, we have batchmates who have families, and we have a community rooting for us. During residency, I remember you treated us on your first ECCE. ECCE is parang operation namin sa OVDA. You were very happy and kept on telling us how many people have mistaken your hands for a consultant. You were very happy that time, giving a new side to the patient. Thank you for being a great doctor. So for every journey in health that we will face as a batch, we will always remember you batchmate as our guide and our inspiration. I will literally look up to you because you're tall and I'm small. But every time I will feel hopeless, I know that when I look up now in the sky, I will remember you and what you told me. Thank you, Roy, for being part of our memory and our lives. I know you're rooting for us up there. You may not be in heaven, but you're always going to be with us in every step of the way.
Hi, I'm Kochi. So, 19 months, I've been with Roy for 19 months. So, it isn't really a lot of time to get to know someone. But when we see each other on a daily basis, in a grueling, draining, sometimes unforgiving environment, you sometimes get to see glimpses of who someone really is. So, let's say it's 4 a.m. on a weekday. I might have just gotten like 2 hours of sleep from working. So I get a message saying, "Gising na ba you?" Then I remember I have to be at work by 5. So Roy was my morning alarm for the last couple months of last year. My morning anger towards my phone alarm became my morning anger towards Roy. On numerous late nights din sa sentro, where a lot of us would stay and work, Roy would always be the one to order coffee and food for us. So, gusto mo kape? Or bili tayo sa Rob? It was these small moments that kept popping in my head while I was writing this. So, for such a large person, Roy made such an effort for the smallest of things. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together. And Roy, for me, I believe had already built something great. He was dependable, strong-willed, always silly, and very caring. So I thank you for being our batch dad. Thank you for your stupid jokes na if anyone else had said it, sobrang wale. Thank you for being strong for us. Thank you for all the small things that you did for you, for your friends and your patients and your family. I'm sure they're all proud of you. I'm happy that I met you. We love you and we'll miss you.
everyone, I'm Tara. Hi everyone, I'm Tara. So the first significant interaction between Roy and I was when we were service mates in Glau during our first year in residency. He seemed so strict and mataray, the type of no-nonsense guy, that it felt like it would be so difficult to interact with him. Of course, I was wrong, and Roy turned out to be one of the most kalog, thoughtful, and hardworking people in our batch. I'm sure every residency batch has had their fair share of challenges, but I'd like to think that our batch in particular went through a lot of things that only we could understand. Through it all, we've been so lucky to have each other. Roy would always be there to lend an ear whenever we need to rant, and he was really someone who kept the batch afloat. In line with this, I'd like to share a story that I hold so dear to my heart. Last year in June, I took a sudden leave because of the combined weight of the challenges in life and in work became too much for me. Roy, as my sister's service, took the mantle of covering for the work I left behind. And despite being so tired, he did the job with no hesitation, and he would even tell our other batchmates that this was the way to support me. One time, I messaged him and said, "Uy, Roy, pasensya ka na, alam kong pagod na pagod ka na." And to which he replied, "Uy, Ben, ako ba? Okay lang, basta yung importante, bumalik ka sa amin." Thinking about that now, I wish I could see it the same right now. As selfish as it sounds, Roy, balik ka sa amin. But alas, life has other plans for us. What I miss the most about Roy are the little things. The random times he'd order food for me when he'd see me stressed. The corniest dad jokes that only Roy could pull off. The glimmer of his necklace behind his scrubs. The perfume that we could easily smell because he was so tall. And the scrubs. Okay, yeah. And the scrubs that he would wear everywhere, even if he would go to a bar or anywhere. And I'd also miss his random coffee recommendations, the time he'd call me to wake me up so we wouldn't miss our 5 a.m. call time, and his most coveted locker combination for his always fully stocked locker and OR toolbox. With all those things that I said, what I miss the most is that Roy was always just there, just a call or a text message away. A few weeks ago, Roy and I made an agreement that he would cover for me for today's ER duty and that he would send a message so that he wouldn't forget. Days passed and I forgot about it until last night my phone lit up with Roy's name on the screen. A scheduled message reminding of how he was going to go on duty today in my stead. I broke down because it hit me that he was gone. But Roy, even if you're not here with us physically, rest assured, we will always keep you in our hearts. We love you so much, and see you on the other side.
Kasi naman, ipaglatakot na ulo ba? Hello, Gerald, Lumba. Sure ako, everyone or most, as they did, will start with Roy's good points, so I'll go the other way. Si Roy, siya yung napaka-judgmental, maarte, demanding, at madiwara. Most of all, despite claiming na siya daw yung huli sa info, napaka-chismoso rin. So, this all stems from his main trait naman as an efficient and hardworking individual. Kaya kami magkasundo usually work-wise kasi yun nga, sabay kaming nagsistress sa mga sarili namin kapag partners kami. Sabay namin sinistress sa sarili namin kapag may deliverables. Sabay din kaming nagsistress sa batchmates namin tsaka this year's, first years namin. Maybe it was because of his usual aim to work and produce efficiently that he would often be misconstrued as an impolite person. But because I knew Roy and I understood Roy, I always thought otherwise. Alam ko naman gusto lang niya maging efficient, and at the end of the day, just as any tired resident, we just all wanted to go home. Roy was really, really bad in endorsements. Context. When we were first years, sister service kasi Roy, so ako yung tatapunan niya ng endorsements pag magsha-shifting kami. And every shifting last year, sure na ako, tsaka prepared na ako na mabibembang ako the first week. Marami siyang hindi sasabihin sa akin, tapos magugulat na ako ay nahanap sa anyways, marinig ko na ulit yung boses ni Ma'am Keisha. Pero baka mag-work kasi may dito. So, sige fine, it improved throughout the year. Eventually, may daily checking na lang siya sa tawagan niya kada morning. Okay na ba yung ganito? Okay na ba yung ganito? Ayan, sige. Bilang nabanggit ko na rin yung sister services kami rin yung nagsashare ng mga tips and tricks para ma-overcome ang respective bosses na si Princess and Empress. Princess Keisha and Empress Kang. Uy, paano ba siya nag-ER or what? Magagalit ba yun? To share some actual exchanges na pinapipaste ko sa Telegram chat namin. Na sinasabi niya tungkol kay Ma'am Keisha pag magsha-shift na kami. Gusto ni Keisha, alam ko ilan pupunta, tapos instructed to arrive early. Lahat ng andun sa papel supposedly gagawin, pero si Keisha style niya, diretso ngayon sa feeling na sakto per patient. Usually 7 a.m. pa naman dumating si Keisha, pero ideally gusto niya nakakita ka ng patients before. Pero hindi naman pinapasok yung patient, so hindi naman siya nagagalit. Oo, pinalita ako kay Keisha eh. Legitness extremes, di ko maalala ko yung context. Si Keisha nagtayon sa akin mag-orders lahat para sa kanila. Keisha trusts her own bitch, i.e. me. He would always tell me last year pag nadadown siya, pag feeling niya di niya nadedeliver ng maayos yung mga bagay the way he intends to. Pag feeling niya di niya nasasatisfy si Ma'am Keisha. But in the end, in everything naman, we both knew that he always did his best in everything. Roy is an irreplaceable pillar of our batch. He's one of the most reliable persons you can think of whenever we need to do something as a batch. Sa sobrang ajit niya, hindi na yan mapakali whenever wala nangyayari sa deliverables namin. Pag ramdam niyang upos na si Zad, or ako, or anyone really, nandiyan na yan palagi. At ang the best nun, pag sinoy na yung humawak at mag-aasikaso, huwag ka na mag-worry, sure na magagawa niya yan. Roy will listen to your rants, life problems, and whatnot. Being the oldest and the most mature in our batch, he knew when to just listen, when to share his views, and when to offer advice. To me, Roy was the giant to my dwarf. Lalo na pag nag-i-ED rounds kami last year together, mukha kaming magtatay. Ako daw yung maingay na poodle, tapos siya yung St. Bernard na tatawanan lang ako habang nag-iingay ako sa mga diwala ko sa buhay. Siya yung talagising last year. Marami pa akong ginigising niya. Kahit na nag-fail naman siya every time. Sorry. Isa siya sa mga reliable support systems ko pag may problema ako. Kaya Roy, bakit ganito? Paano lang kami? I thought it ended with Patty having felt that lingering loneliness in January as I roamed around in Centro during my social rounds and Patty was no longer around. Pero bakit kasi si Patty? At least at that time, I could always hold on to the option na pwede ko siyang tawagan at i-meet regularly. Pero ito, I don't know how to handle this. In a few hours, magma-Monday na. Just last Thursday, we were at the uveitis clinic, pero paano kami papasok? Feeling your absence every day. And the difference now is, with you, hindi ka namin pwedeng tawagan para ma-meet or kumain or anything. We love you, Roy. We will always think of you in each and every milestone of the batch. You may have left this huge gaping hole in each one of us, but I do pray for you to pass on peacefully. You can rest now.
he will definitely be missed.
Good evening, everyone. I am Zedkel Velasquez, the batch leader of second year ophthalmology residence here in PBH. So, as a batch leader, I need to make sure that we do all the tasks at hand, the daily examining tasks. I need to make sure everyone does their job well. I need to make sure their whereabouts, and of course, I need to make sure everyone's safe. And so, imagine how hard it is to be the BL, parang pag may problema sa akin, idadaan. Pag may wala sa akin, hinahanap. So, but with Roy around, parang nababawasan at least yung ibang tasks, yung ibang burden from being the BL. For this eulogy, I want to share my experiences with Roy and how he lived his life with us. I'll share yung first impression ko sa kanya is that Roy is a very organized and clean freak individual. He's very tidy. Aside from the fact that he has the most complete set of instruments and tools na kailangan namin sa clinic, he makes sure that he arranged his instrument set very perfectly. So one time sa OR, sabi niya sa akin, "Saan? Ano ba yan?"
Ganun ang boses na.
Ganun yung boses niya, man siyang tao pero ganun yung boses niya. "Saan? Ano ba yan? Ang gulo ng set mo. Ako na, ayusin ko." Tapos yun, inayos niya yung OR set ko, yung bago pa lang na ECCE set, kasi first time namin magka-cataract surgery. And then, bakit ito? May kalawang na agad. So yun, he even wiped the rust from the instruments. And from then on forward, I make sure that my OR instruments are arranged perfectly the way he wanted it to be. So yun. It's very organized. Next, Roy is very reliable. He really gets the job done. He is also my daily reminder of my tasks as the BL and yung mga tasks namin sa batch. So pag nami-meet niya ako sa hallway, para sabi, "Ano na siya? Ano na yung outing natin? Ano na siya? Ano na yung take-on?" So yun, sabi ko, "Sige Roy." Sige Roy. Exit ko, mamaya. Ayun. Lagi siyang nagre-remind sa akin. So without Roy, feeling ko yung take-on, wala tayong pagkain. Yung outing, hindi ko na alam. But third, Roy's a true friend. He really cares about the batch, the people around him. For some time this year, I had a feeling na I wanted to be alone at times. And sa batch, pag lumalabas, I usually don't go out with them. But Roy persistently calls me every time na may labas. "Saan? Basta ka na! Tara na!" Pero yun, di pa rin ako pupunta minsan. Madalas. Tapos yun, "Saan? Tara! Bowling! Nandito na kami." But last Tuesday, "Saan? Tara kain." Sabi ko, "Saan?" "Nandito na kami sa Manila." "Sige, punta ako." Ayun, Tuesday, we went out, nag-Manila kami, and then sabi ko, "Tara, pagkasawa na lang tayo sa Pobla." Sabi niya, "Talaga ba? G?" Tapos yun, we went out nung Tuesday, sa Pobla, Minom, and I'm glad I did. I did come nung time na yun. And, ayun, days after, he come. So, tapos nilibre pa niya kami nun, nung manam. I think manam is his comfort food, his go-to place kapag hindi na namin alam kung saan kakain. Tapos sabi na, ano meron? Bakit ka nang libre? Wala lang. So, that's how Roy's very great friend. So Roy, the batchmate, paano na yung outing natin? I hope that you achieve the peaceful rest that you deserve there. Please pray for us. We will keep moving forward. We'll continue to help each other. We'll also dedicate the rest of our residency to you. As much as I want you to peacefully rest there, I also wish that you would still help me in guiding the batch throughout the residency. We'll see each other again, Roy. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Zad. Hi, I'm JC again, and I'm one of the best friends, self-proclaimed, of Roy. And syempre, as a best friend, medyo may cheating kaming gagawin. I'll be with Kath, one of Roy's best friends as well. We'd like to formally introduce ourselves to you as we're actually called Yayos. As in yung lalaking kasambahay, mga katulong. Kasi, can you imagine me and Roy, tumayo ko dyan. Can you imagine me and Roy together with Kath na Muhammadita, tapos kami ni Roy, sumusunod kami sa kanya kahit saan. So, that's how we started and how we bonded. And I'll give the microphone to Kath to start off and introducing who we think Roy is and how much we love him.
Hi everyone, I'm Kat. I'm sorry. She's asleep. I'm really one of his closest friends here in residency. It's funny how his med school friends share the same experiences, and that's exactly how Roy is, even until residency. And I think the genes are very mutual. Roy has been someone I've gotten the pleasure to be really close with over the past few months. Despite the short period we spent together, he has played a big part in my life during residency and even outside of it. Roy reminded me to have a life outside of residency, not just stay at work and do everything. So I'm very appreciative of that. So Roy and JC have been my close confidants in everything. Whether it would be the toxic patients we would encounter during the day, or the weird circumstances we had to face just to get through the day, even down to the food we will eat at the end of the clinic day, because that's always what we do. We always eat and go out. Roy's love language has always been through food, and sometimes even we don't want it. Roy has these tendencies of giving sarcastic remarks to both me and JC and even through the batch. But despite all of that, Roy is just more than a friend to us. He was definitely the batch alarm clock. He would always wake us up. And that was very consistent until the last day of Roy's life here on Earth. It reminded me of the day when Roy passed. We were genuinely concerned that Roy didn't message us that day. And from then on, and all of PY. Despite that, I kind of wish Roy was still here, definitely to always wake us up in the morning. Roy was also the dad friend for our group. He would always invite us to have breakfast, even if the clinics would have to start, and making sure that we were always up to date with all of his funny TikToks. In short, he always had the dad jokes, and we would cringe most of the time. But despite all of it, Roy was a very sensitive and a good friend to all of us. If one of us was clearly struggling during the day, Roy would be the first to take care of that person. He'd make jokes to lighten up the mood, and he'd always lend an ear if he needed to share anything. After all the cuentos, Roy would never judge us without giving us a chance. He's very blunt, and if he needed to call a person out, Roy will always be honest enough and strong enough to tell you and to call you out. But it was in a manner that was not demeaning or degrading. At the end of the day, Roy was always the person I would want to be around with because I was my actual self when I was around him. I could be my real people self and Roy wouldn't be offended by it. He could talk for hours on just a random topic and wouldn't get tired of it. Just what exactly we did during your last moment here on earth. I remember the letter you morning of me because we couldn't sleep after the three of us studied outside. So we were discussing a lot of stuff, and then despite all of the chismes and all of the planning, we still couldn't sleep that day. I wish you could still wake up as that day, but I know that you are in a safer and a better place now. I'm genuinely and beyond thankful that we spent almost 24/7 together for all of the food trips we went to, the every random events, and even everyday chismes. Thank you, Roy. Thank you for being the friend that was genuinely concerned for the well-being of the entire batch, for all of our events, to being my foodie buddy that I can randomly share food facts with, and to being a great friend that I hope I will be able to see someday again. I never thought I would be able to meet a friend like this during residency, but I'm grateful that you are always there for me. Thank you for all the love, Roy. Thank you for teaching me how to be a person that could be vocal about your own principles without belittling others, to show genuine concern and love, and above all, how to be a great friend. I love you and I miss you, Roy, and I hope to see you soon.
I'd just like to add to what Kat said. Basically, Roy was there for us. He was there for many things. He was there during the good times, the mini road trips we had here and there, the food trips, the spontaneous trips to different cafes even after clinics, midnight. Supposedly to study, but eventually ending up just eating at a random place in Makati late at night, since we were too tired to function. Lahat ng trip namin, sinasakyan lang ni Roy without any hesitation. Kahit alam namin minsan pilit lang siya, sinasakyan na lang, game lang siya. And he was so comfortable with us. Let me just share one of the biggest moments in my life that I've shared with him, that I told him how nervous I was actually of public speaking. And that I had previously an upcoming inspirational speech to medicine students, and how supportive and encouraging he was of me pursuing that so that I could overcome my fear of speaking in front of many people. I actually didn't even invite him since I was too shy. I wanted to do it alone. But lo and behold, I just saw him in the crowd. He was too tall and large and massive for me to miss him. He was just there taking pictures. Pero grabe si Roy, that was the first time of me speaking in front of a large crowd, and just can't believe that the second time will be at his funeral. I can't really speak of all the good times that we've had with Roy, because we're literally together almost every day. Except when one of us was in duty, of course. It always had this positive yet annoying aura that turns your day around, and there's not just too many good things to come. He was also there for the bad times. The times when I would go through many personal things, even physical sickness, personal and mental struggles, even plain sleepiness and hunger. He would just feel it, he would know, and he would act. He'd help us out no matter what, no matter how annoyingly persistent he gets. He'd make sure we're okay first, before him. He orders me food and coffee without even me knowing, just to assure that I get through the day okay. And that's how every day is with Roy. You may see me and Kath doing well on our own, but it's actually Roy in the shadows doing this for us. He'll analyze me and my body language, my mannerisms, and can really tell whether I'm telling him the truth or not. And so he would just nag and nag all day until he could just squeeze the truth out of me. Like Kat said, recently we just figured out that the night before he passed away, just like always, he was talking with Kat in the last few moments of his life. And they were talking about me because he was so concerned about me. He was just always there. The morning after he passed away, I feel like I'm still in a limbo. But the morning after he passed away, that's when it really struck me. Wala nang makakarinding boses araw-araw, just like Zad has described. Wala nang gigising sa amin sa batch. Wala nang tatawag sa amin ni Kath tuwing umaga. Wala nang kakamusta sa akin kung puyat lang ba ako, kung meron ba akong pinagdadaanan. Kung kumain na ba ako, kung gusto ko ba ng kape. Or kung kulang ba ako sa pera. Hindi naman. But most importantly, no one would ask me now if I'm okay. Because Roy, if you're hearing and looking at me and Kath now, we are not okay. I know you've seen how much change, strength, and growth you've allowed to prosper in me and Kath, with you just being there, carrying our backs in the shadows. But I also wish you could see how lost we are without you now. Because every time I wake up, the past 2 days, it just feels like a dream. And there's so many things I want to tell people, but I'm just so used to telling you first. I know you know up there how heavy this feels, that we're living our own separate lives, sharing the next chapter of our lives with your spirit in our hearts. And I want you to know that I'd be honored to do so. Without hesitation, for the rest of my life. In a heartbeat, I'd do anything for one last spontaneous road trip with you. One last late night Aral session at a cafe in Makati. One last food trip in Quezon City. But I know you are in a happier place now, Roy, sleeping in your weird, awkward position, safe and sound, and syempre malamig na aircon. And most importantly, you're with our Lord Jesus Christ now. May you rest in peace, bro.